Hi everyone, this is Dr. Joe with Bits and Pieces. Nicola wrote in and asked about fear and if I would talk about fear in grief. I would love to talk about fear and grief because especially in my work, I work only with traumatic grief, catastrophic loss in families. And fear and terror actually are the defining emotional characteristics of traumatic stress, right? We generally don't subjectively experience something as traumatic if there's not fear or terror involved, right? And so fear is not trying to hurt us. Fear is actually trying to keep us safe. We need fear in our lives because people who are too fearless do things that I would never do, like jump off a mountain in a bat suit. And that's just not in my wheelhouse of skills. But also, fear can get in the way with the stories that it tells us that we're unsafe sometimes, because sometimes the world is an unsafe place, and so it's wise to be fearful. You see what I'm saying here? Fear is it's from an evolutionary perspective, it's important because it keeps us safe. But it's like a chair in a house, right? You don't want to put chairs in front of doors. You don't want to put chairs in weird places because it serves no purpose there. And so in my work with patients around fear, one of the things I teach them to do is put fear in its appropriate place. And listen, I make it sound a lot easier than it is. But the way that I look at fear is it's like a chair. It has a lot of utility when we use it wisely and when it's not blocking a door. Or when we use a chair for a purposeful reason, we stand on the chair to get something that's high off the shelf down, right? Then a chair is very useful. Again, like fear, it has its place, it has its utility. And if we can put it in its proper place, it can really help us throughout our lives. I try not to make any emotion a bad emotion or a good emotion. Emotions just are. And I try to accept whatever I'm afraid sometimes. I just know where to put my chair in the house. I hope that's helpful, Nicola. Thank you so much for the very good question. This is Dr. Joe with Bits and Pieces, Ahimsa for all beings.